All right, we are now live on Wade's Ventures YouTube channel, guys. Welcome in. I want to say today's a Tuesday, but since I've been going full-time reselling, I kind of lose track of the days. So, guys, welcome in, chat. We have a really cool show for you guys tonight. I can't believe we haven't had these folks on sooner on the Wade's Ventures YouTube channel, guys. So, those of you who are joining, we invite amazing people Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. And it's so popular. I went to eBay Open. So many people love this show that I'm thinking about extending it until Thursday. But I'll let you know. Guys, welcome in. Let me say hello to some people here. We got Mr. Pac-Man, the world's best admin. Welcome in. What's going on, Lisa? I think she had to go. Hip Flippin' Mama, what is going on? Conductor, what's going on? Let me say hello. Wiggins, what's going on? Good basketball player too, by the way. Am I saying it right? I could be wrong. Thrifty Nomads, what's going on? Rita, what's going on? Stitch, what's going on? Beth, the most amazing neighbor that lives 15 feet away from me. What is going on, guys?
We got a Jacob Brown in here. I don't know what that is, but we got one of those.
Nice, nice. All right, guys. So this show is going to be structured a little differently because, let's be honest, the Portland Pickers are just fabulous, and they know a lot of good stuff about reselling. So we're going to try to get some nuggets today. But first, we're going to start off the show. I'm going to kind of figure out what makes that. How did the Portland Pickers be? Like, what started the Portland Pickers? We're going to start there, and then we're going to do our haul video and a bunch of other stuff. You guys will want to be a part of this. So without further ado, I'll stop talking and have our amazing guests introduce themselves.
I would just like to say that I brushed my teeth for this. Which I even wiped twice.
Nice.
That's a good day. That's a good day for me.
It's a special time.
And where did you thrift those glasses, by the way?
I did at Goodwill for $2, and they already came like this.
Wow. Guys, I'm telling you, this is gonna be full of nuggets. If you haven't seen already, I mean, anybody that wears those glasses has got to be extremely smart, right?
Or funky and weird.
Yeah, it could be.
Tantalizing us.
Rita said, "I love the glasses."
Oh, thanks.
Lauren's in chat, and by the way, she's a really good at fashion, that's for sure. Hickory's in here. Key Lime Kisses is in here. Guys, welcome. All right, let's get started with this. Portland Pickers. Tell me first.
Yeah.
Give us like the short version of how you two met.
We actually met through our friend Jake, who's in the chat right now. Another Jake.
It was a pumpkin carving party.
Yeah.
Documented in the annals of history. Erica did the Scream mask. Oh, that's good. It's kind of loud.
No. Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now? Okay, good.
Yes.
I just tried to mute me so they can see your beautiful faces. So let me mute me again. Go ahead with the story.
Can everyone hear us fine? I saw someone say feedback.
Oh, are you muted on your end, Wade?
Nope, I can hear you guys perfectly fine.
Okay. Yeah,
okay.
So it was a pumpkin carving party, and we actually didn't interact that night.
Not too much.
It was like a hi, goodbye type situation.
Mm-hmm.
And that was obviously love it.
I take my pumpkin carving really seriously, so I was in the zone. But,
so did he have like a little like, I mean, you guys said you didn't talk much. Did he have like a little thing that said like, do you want to go out with me? Check yes, check no.
No, it wasn't that cute or elementary. We like hung out another time after that, and then ended up like talking all night, and the rest is history.
So
that's right.
Tell me a little bit about your reselling journey. Like what platforms do you sell on currently? I know you're on eBay. I know that you were at Side Hustle Pros down in McMinnville, their location, doing some FBA on Amazon. But tell me a little bit about what platforms you're on. Are you full-time, part-time?
Full-time now, have been for
5 years?
5 years, 6 years. And I also provide care for my younger sister. So, I mean, I don't want it to be misleading that I'm full-time, but like if I wasn't doing that, I would still be full-time. So I feel like it's accurate to say.
That's
You
amazing.
have another income.
It's another source of income, but I just, provide care for my younger sister. That's why I do it. So platform-wise, eBay, I've been doing eBay for, over 10 years, kind of started as a hobby. I don't know how a lot of people start on eBay, but for me, it was, I need some money, like that's how it started for me. It wasn't any kind of decision to, execute these business strategies. And I had no plan of this being what it is now, which is quite the household operation. I also sell on Amazon. I should have started much sooner. I should have started when I started selling on eBay, honestly, just so that I understand the ins and outs. And I mean, you're familiar with, being gated in certain products, and having history on Amazon kind of gives you some leeway on that. And then Craigslist, because why not? It's like, yeah, if someone wants to pick this up locally and maybe stab me, hopefully not. Could happen though.
It's not happened yet.
I could withstand a knife wound.
I think the Craigslist kind of went down a little bit since they stopped doing personals on there. I could be wrong, right?
Well, it's definitely affected my business.
So, all right. So tell me a little bit. By the way, guys, I met them. I mean, I've actually met them in person before eBay opened. But so you're talking to the world's best bowler right now live.
I told you he was good, right?
Oh my gosh! I mean, I thought the super soup would help me a little bit, maybe like 20 points. But what was going on, man? What was going on?
Ramen soup might have been weighing you down.
It was a decent night. It was a decent night. The drinks were a-flowing.
I didn't bowl. I bowled 2 frames. That's it. And I got a strike. So,
wow.
But the dance floor was calling me, so I couldn't bowl anymore.
It was funny because I went to go get drinks, and I was talking with Hugo, I think, and I was at the bar, and then I look over and I see her just like dancing by herself, like completely by herself.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, life has got to be great, just to be an eBay Open, dancing by yourself, going. So
I was surprised how many people weren't dancing who I was expecting to dance. So maybe they were trying to be professional, but my mom was always the person in the room who would like dance and like bump up with strangers and talk to them, and I always was really embarrassed about that. And like now that I'm older, I'm like, oh, I see. I'm kind of shy naturally, so like when I'm dancing, I feel more open, and like I just like wanted to go around the room and see who I could bump into and like say hi to. So.
What about you, buddy? Can you dance? Like, do you do the sprinkler? What kind of stuff do you do that?
I do the sprinkler. I do the washing machine. I'll do a fridge every now and then if you get me, really cranked. I'll do the AC.
He's a good dancer. Yeah.
Nice.
I just cut a rug. A little bit of shoulder action. That didn't look great, but
no. I can't do that. Like us big like stocky guys just doesn't do that well.
So yeah, I didn't start reselling until I met him. So I went to art school. I have a degree in art, which helps me a lot in the business. But yeah, I didn't. I started like kind of like listing things with him, and then he was like, "Hey, you can be part of this business if you want to." And I was like, "Well, I'm doing it anyway, so I might as well."
It was basically like, you're gonna be around me a lot, and this is what I'm gonna do a lot. And you can make money, like you could quit your job and do this with me, and let's do it.
That's what happened.
So tell me a little bit about how it works between you two. Like, I know I've interviewed a lot of couples on here, like the Thrifty Nomads was on here, a lot of couples. I've had so many cool people on here. And now for couples though, sometimes it's like, okay, you'll do photos, you'll do like pretty much everybody will do everything. Like, do you guys have a defined role within your eBay business? Who takes the pictures? I know you do the shipping. We'll talk about that. But Yeah. Who like, what's your guys' roles? Like, when you wake up, are you like, honey, you do this, I'll do this? Like, how does that work? What's the same?
So Eric already knows what I'm going to say. So to start it off, we don't wake up. I wake up.
He woke
And I
me
get
up
started.
this morning and then like wasn't ready to do something for an hour, and I was like, why did you wake me up if you're not ready to go right now?
And what that means is I was up since like 5:30 packaging things. And, gracefully went in, kind of like, nibbled at the ankle, tapped her on the head.
It was very
Just
sweet.
introduced her to awakeness. And she was not pleased at first. But that's a typical morning.
But yeah, he does. He packages, like, wake up, package, and we both list and photograph. There's just things that I like to do, and things that take me longer to do. So then I let him do those things.
Yeah.
But he just kind of lets me pick from whatever he's picked, and then that's what I'll list. And
All right. So we're gonna start with the questions, guys, because I have a good one, and those of you in chat, listen very carefully, okay? Because this is gonna be really, really sneaky. So I know you guys are from Portland. My first question is what's the most favorite places you like thrifting?
Ooh.
Estate sales.
Yeah. Like hands down.
Any honey holes within Portland?
I mean, straight up, like I started my business like from the ground up by going to the Goodwill bins. Like and honestly, I go back there occasionally still when I just feel motivated to. But like I built my business up to doing like over 30K in sales a year, which that's a lot when you're self-employed and independent, and your entry cost is about 1/10 of your sale price. Mm-hmm. That my margins were about 10x when I was exclusively doing the Goodwill bins. So I don't think I am that special of an exception. Obviously there's some time and dedication that goes into really honing your eye in on certain things. Like I'm a hards goods guy.
Hard goods.
So like I would go for the electronics first. Go there, scope it out, and then as a secondary, just to utilize my time while I'm at the bins, well, I'm going to pick through the clothing and see if anything jumps out to me. But back then my clothing eye was not very well honed. So I would go for kind of just brand recognition and things that I was familiar with, which, are, $20 to $30 like athletic apparel or jeans.
And the bins is a great place to start. Besides the fact that it's a little bit cutthroat sometimes, and you're rooting through a lot of garbage, so then it gets dirty. We have some horror stories of things that we've touched at the bins. Ooh. Mine was a half-eaten burrito.
Found a mouse in a purse. I was like, this is kind of a nice purse, but it's very stinky.
But I know it gets some kind of like, it gets a little aggressive, especially if people find those glasses. I can imagine people those glasses, right?
Right, everyone's going for them.
I after she had those on, I was like, I've got to get some glasses on. So I tried to get like, that didn't work, and then these on. I wish I had the Instagram filters right now.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't work. So anyways,
I have to say, very Clark Kent-esque.
Thank you. Without the hair and the beautiful looks. Just the beautiful eyes. That's why I say I have like really nice eyes.
I get sucked into them every time.
Yeah. You guys. I tried to use them on you in the bowling alley, but it didn't work. It was
It was dark in there.
It was dark. In there. That was the only reason, I swear.
They were muted. All right, guys. So, what about your friends and family? Like, when you were going full time, and now that you've been full time, they probably don't have that. But what did the parents think of you guys going full time reselling?
So, even growing up, my mom has a very laid back, hands off, removed, neglectful approach. So she kind of just let me come into my being myself, which was great in many respects. But then when it comes to like structure and discipline, those were things I had to find out the hard way.
You had to figure them out for yourself, which was actually kind of good for you.
Thankfully, I did, because it was rough. But her, I mean, it's funny. I don't think there's a lot of well, not even in my family do they really understand the depth of what I do, which is fine to me. You know, if they were really interested and curious to find out, you know, and there have been, you know, times where we talk about it, but it hasn't gone down the rabbit hole entirely. It's just kind of the rim of it.
We've heard people say like, oh, you want to make real money? And I'm like, well, you can check our bank accounts. There's real money in there, but you know, you don't have to prove anything to anyone. Like, if your business is successful, that's great for you. And if someone doesn't believe you're actually making money, then that's on them.
I feel like that maybe generally speaking, you know, people out there, your family members might be skeptical, especially when you first start doing it. Like,
but
you're gonna buy junk and sell junk. Like, you can't make a living doing that. You know, like, that's not a productive use of your time. But the way I did it was just happenstance. I was just like, oh, I have some things, I'm going to sell some things. It wasn't like a decisive long-term plan.
And then you started working at an estate sale company.
And then I was like curious about like the back end of estate sales, like sometime in like 2012, 2013. I think 12. And so I worked at a company, and then I managed like the brick and mortar store. And then I kind of understood the picking aspect more, that widened the realm of what I picked, because before that I was like electronics all the way pretty much, maybe some books. So that got me more into like collectibles and furniture and more odd ends.
Yeah. And I think that once you with your friends, once you bought a house, they were like, oh, because you're the first one of your friends to buy a house, and they were like, oh, that he's actually making money.
Uh-oh, guys, we know when we need a little loan where we need to go, right?
He doesn't buy anything for himself. Like, literally, he'll like buy one new thing a year and wear it every day.
So she said something to me. I don't know if you heard when we were at eBay Open. I don't know how this happened, but she's like, I was like, who cooks in the family, I think, or something like that. She goes, well, I do, because if I don't cook, he'll never eat, because he just works.
It's true.
Yeah.
Days where I'm not here, I'll be like, have you ate yet? He's like, no, it's like 6 o'clock.
I'll be like, I had like a delicious glass of cold water. It's crisp. And
he can cook. It's just that he works hard.
Yeah.
He's a hard worker.
I couldn't help to notice that you know, and you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, but when my father passed away, I got a flag too. You guys have a cool flag that's put up.
Is your grandpa?
That's my grandfather's. And the reason I have it is when they were like liquidating the things out of my grandparents' house, that kind of was like, you know, stuff just gets put in boxes and set, you know, kind of aside in the basement and stuff. And I was like, I'm gonna take this. I'm like this is gonna be the thing that I kind of keep them around.
Keep them close to you. It's funny the things we gravitate to, you know. And that would probably be in a box if it's not up there, right?
Yeah.
So, guys, we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of this. But more importantly, if you guys have questions, put it in chat. I will not answer them because I'm horrible at hard goods. But if you guys have any questions about hard goods, put it in chat. These guys know a lot. And then also, guys, I'm periodically putting in their YouTube channel. So those of you who don't know or have not watched any of these shows, if you guys do click that link, subscribe to them right now, click the link, come back to the chat, and then let me know what number you are, and then I will go ahead and shout you out. I think I missed a couple numbers, guys. I'll scroll up. Stitch Witch was sub 173. So guys, yeah, Hugo 171 or 2, I think. Yep. And we have Rita 185, 186 was Conrad. Let's see. Oh, no, I missed that. Hickory was 166. Sorry. So guys, put in chat whatever number you are, what number you subscribe. Please do that so I can shout you out. But more importantly,
the love. Thank you.
Yes, give them some love. They are amazing. They know way more than I do. I'm honestly, and they're in the same city. I need to go over there and learn something. I remember watching your Instagram, and I don't know if it was like a radiator or what it was. Like, I can't even change a tire on my car. You're messing around with some sort of like engine part, and I'm like, God, if I was that cool, you know?
He's just like, if there's grease on something and someone overlooked it, he just picks it up, even if he has no idea about it. So, something we got lucky with when we bought our house. Our neighbor across the street is a junk man. He is a Ford guy. He has only old Fords. He recycles metal scrap and does we just got lucky with him. And it's so cute, their relationship. They're like best friends, and he's like a 70-year-old man.
He's 56. But I guess that's close. You know, we're in our late 20s, so it's like, yeah, he's like 108. He knows everything.
No, he's definitely old school, and it just was lucky. So he can look at something and tell you what it is. So we just bring him along with us a lot of the time.
He's got a great automotive knowledge base because he grew up actually crushing cars, right? So he knows a lot of the vintage automotive stuff. So he can look at something and be like, oh yeah, that's rattle off some number, some serial, like a model. I'm like, okay, is it all right? Let's take it home then. Yes. And it's funny because and this will happen with anyone, right? Someone's an expert in something, they're still gonna get things wrong. Like, I'm gonna get things wrong. Wade, it's gonna happen, but so like, take advice up to a point, but if your intuition is like, I should just haul this home, you need to do it because that's going to resolve, all right, not going to do that in the future, or wow, I'm glad I didn't pass on that.
He's good for like identifying things, but he's not so good at like pricing things. He's like, oh, that's junk, and Jake's like, well, I'm going to throw it up for $100 and it will sell.
So I saw something recently on Instagram, and I can't quote it verbatim, word by word, but it said something like, the people that are really, I want to use the word intelligent, but that's not what they had. That's not what they had there. It was the people that are like really like smart, I guess, but they didn't use that word either. So I don't know. But basically, the people that are really intelligent are the ones that are the ones that take good feedback better than people that think they're intelligent but don't take good feedback, if that makes sense. So if you're really smart, you know when you're wrong, kind of like what you said, and take that feedback. I think that's really cool. So let's get into this, because I think that a lot of people, they see your Instagram, they see you flip like mini ships, or boats, and like stuff that I would have been like, we were talking about the paintings you did on Instagram. We'll get into that. I was like, I would have donated those. Like, when I was doing all the storage units, I see a painting and it automatically goes to my donation pile. Yeah. Unless it's like a really nice modern one.
Even posters that you think are junk will sell. Like posters that are in dentist office and stuff like that. Like I flipped a poster that cost $2.50 for $450.
Crazy.
And it was just in a plastic frame with plastic, plastic, not glass, and then plastic frame around it.
Okay, so let's get in. I've got some questions here, and I'm going to ask them kind of like rapid fire style. So first, regarding reselling, is there any apps that you use or websites for anything reselling that you guys use on a constant day-to-day basis, or something that helps you that people may not know of?
Geez, I feel like I'm pretty much just using the standard setup, I'm using eBay and I'm using the Amazon app and I'm using Google, because kind of Google is the resource for everything. It bridges all the gaps. And if I can't find anything on Google, then I either have an obsolete piece of junk or I have like the rarest thing on earth. It's usually the junk.
What about the painting website that you guys?
Oh yeah, there is that website.
So for the paint by numbers, there is a website. It's called paintbynumbermuseum.com, I think. And it has a huge database that someone put a lot of time and effort into scanning and documenting and putting all these keywords in for paint by numbers. And I think paint by numbers were like really collectible like 10 or 20 years ago. They're still collectible now, but there was a big market for them then. And I think that's when this website was like created. Yeah. And it's been like the best resource for me to find these paintings, because you don't have any information besides the painting. So that gives you like a title, what kit it came in, what year it was from, what manufacturer, because all those things are important for paint by numbers.
So if you have a painting and it's older, you just go to paintbynumbers.com and you plug in the number and it shows you all that information.
So it's specifically for paint by number. It's not all paintings.
Yeah.
That's still really good, because like I said, I probably got a ton of that buying storage units.
Probably.
So that's good. Now let's talk about estate sales, because I know you guys do a lot of those. How do you find these estate sales? Tell us, do you have any we go over negotiating tactics, like sometimes any kind of I know you guys have beautiful faces and you can go in there and just get really good deals, but tell me if you were walking up to my estate sale, do you have any tips, tricks when it comes to estate sales that you guys like doing? Some people will buy big bags and put a bunch of stuff in there and they'll do like a bundle deal. How does that work for you guys?
Okay, so first off, where you go, estatesalefinder.com, estatesales.net, and then Craigslist can actually open you to a lot of opportunities that aren't listed on the more professional sites, because families who are running the sale will throw it on Craigslist, but not the more professional sites. And those ones can end up getting, overlooked.
Thrifty Santa said, "Did you buy the Santa sleigh?"
It was a little big. If you want it,
do you know what the price was?
I have no idea what it was priced at, but it's probably a couple hundred.
What we're talking about is there's an estate sale for
Librarians and Leverage, which TV show that was on TNT. It was filmed here in Portland. I was featured on a couple episodes.
He does. But there was a big sale and they had props. So one of them was a Santa sleigh, and Thrifty Santa's asking about it.
It's still running, by the way.
Not to go off on a tangent, but you show Grimm. And what people don't realize is handled the account that handled the actors, some not the big actors, but some of the extra actors. And they also did a lot of the costumes. And then when I saw that you had a lot of costumes that you were selling, it was really cool. You sold. Now, are they selling though the cost, like the different clothing and stuff that some of the Grimm actors were using?
Yeah.
So far I've sold 2 of 7 pieces that were actually set wardrobe that was worn. And I sold those one for like 110 and the other for 125.
And they're just like basic jackets. Like we tried to search the episodes and you can't even tell that they're wearing them.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly like which episode or which season.
But it says like on the inside of the the Monroe season, whatever, shoot, whatever. So it's cool that it has that information on it.
Yes.
Rita says my favorite show. I love that show.
Aw, Grimm. Jake did extra on Grimm.
Yeah, so I'm in background like season 2 or 3 to like the last season they shot. I'm sprinkled, throughout. Rode a bike through scene.
Uh-oh, guys. Anybody, let me know in chat, guys. We have 75 people watching. let me know in chat if you guys want his autograph. Anybody in
Somebody
chat?
asked, do we build relationships with any estate sale companies workers?
So
Yes.
that was literally what I was gonna go to after, letting you know where to find the estate sales. Is there are tons of tactics as far as negotiating deals, but nothing is more effective than just being bright and being
Kind.
welcoming and attending the sale and just speaking, politely with the staff and, showing interest and curiosity about what they're doing and what's going on around you. And that just begets favors and gifts and that's not the reason you should do it. But it is an outcome that it's kind of inevitable.
And we know after doing this for years, who to go to,
who to manipulate,
who will give deals, who won't give deals,
who's got the weak knees, and you kick those knees and you get those deals.
But yeah, it's all about being kind.
And like, even if you don't know how to negotiate, if you go on the last day of the sale, there's going to be good stuff left behind. We can't go to every single sale, and even the sales we do go to, there's going to be, oh, I didn't go to that room. I didn't look under that hat. There's always stuff. So the real effective thing is going and looking and seeing if there's something there, and there always is.
And like I've said before, start with something something that you would use or that you would collect or that you would wear, and start there and just go looking for those things, and then your branches will widen after you see more like things like that. Like, if you make it something that you really enjoy doing, like, there's certain things I love looking for and there's certain things he loves looking for, and we could cross paths and not see each other's thing, like that just happens because we have our own mindset of what we look for.
Now, do you guys get do you guys have like strategies? Like, do you find that now that you've built these relationships, kind of what companies are doing these estate sales? Do you know, like, does she have more luck negotiating and then you have more luck with this person? Like, have you guys figured that out, or does it matter?
If there's women, I always send him up to the front. Like, he is a charmer. He I just let him go by himself, not me sitting next to him, and he'll get the deals for sure. And it's usually women, so.
And how does
the negotiating?
How does it work? Let's say I have like a car part, which I know you love doing, and like I have it priced at $40. You are asking for a deal past the $40, right? Like, you just basically you just throw out a number, like any negotiating there, basically.
So if it's the first day, I'm typically pretty they're pretty solid on the prices the first day. So seldomly, unless you have a tight relationship and you can kind of do the nudge, will you get a deal on the first day? If it's a family run sale, then it's different because they don't have a contract with their client. So you can kind of work deals there. But on average, it's ideal to bundle as much as you can. So if you want to get the $40 thing for 30 or 20, don't say 10. If you want to get, well, unless you know them, but get some stuff together,
right.
Get a pile together,
they see
so that they're kind
buy.
of like, all right, I see 5, 10, 15. It also depends if our things are priced or not. If things aren't priced, it is
fair game.
Yeah, pretty much. You let them. Sometimes they'll throw out a number that is less than what you would be willing to pay.
Now, to what distances do you guys travel, and do you look for clusters when you are planning, like a bunch in one area?
100%.
And also on the app, at least in Portland, the estatesalefinder.com, they show pictures of the estate sale, so we can kind of pick and choose what we're going. So, like, stuff we like a lot of stuff. So like if they can't fit enough pictures in, you know that's a good sale because the likelihood you're gonna find something. But yeah, we'll do like a little map and try to hit things that are clustered, or sometimes we've traveled an hour out.
Yeah.
And we would travel further if we saw something good.
Now, do you have a estate sale? Just the relationships that you have, do they reach out to you before you go?
Well, the nice thing is most estate sales have like a sign-up list or an email list, and there's a few companies that there's specific things that you can tell them that you buy or that you look out for, and they will reach out to you. Hopefully they reach out to you when those things come up. Occasionally I've gotten contacted personally to go out to their storage unit and buy some things out of there. That was a crazy good opportunity that happened.
That's the boats.
That's how I actually got those German tin boats, those pawn boats.
That he built the Frankenbox for.
And that resulted out of Jake. I think he's in here. He was like, dude, you have to go to this estate sale. And I was like, oh, he's been there. Like, what am I going to get out of there now? He was like, no, there's still a bunch of stuff left. I was like, okay, well, I'll swing by. It was a one-day sale, like thrown up on Craigslist the day of. Like, there's no other way I would have gone to the sale, right? There was like high-end motorcycle parts. There was high-end stereo and recording and like rack mount equipment, guitars. It was just like insane. Like I was spending as much as I could at that sale, and through doing that, she was like, okay, so what other kind of things do you buy? And I mentioned like tin toys, because through watching like American Pickers, one of the things that they highlight often is like tin toys. And there's tons of repos out there, and there's ways of discerning a reproduction from an older tin toy. And I mean, if it's rusty, that's usually a sign that it's older. But if it's stamped made in Germany, that you want to haul that home.
Where's
because
that
those are very desirable. There's actually a couple.
No, the Lincoln Tunnel.
Oh, the Lincoln Tunnel. Yeah, that's back there.
Right, I'm gonna go.
So that's actually a video that we posted. That's on YouTube. It's the Lincoln Tunnel. Eric is gonna go grab it.
Now, if you guys haven't already, and I think probably you have, the Portland Pickers Instagram is pretty addicting, guys. So guys, go check out Portland Pickers Instagram. I always creep on your Instagram. Like this beautiful phone. Look at that white background you have over there. That's amazing. I mean, this thing is just incredible. So guys, go on their Instagram. They've got a lot of really cool stuff, and I learned a lot about hard goods on there as well. But yeah, show us this toy. Let's see what you got here.
So this is a Lincoln Tunnel tin toy. It's made by the Unique Art Manufacturing Co. Let's see if am I winding this the right way?
That's too bright.
Yeah, that's
too bright.
The sun is actually in my house right now. We hired it for this. Let's see. Oh.
That's too bright.
Wow.
So like for most people, you're like, cool, but this is a $400 tin toy. This keeps going, and when you see something like this in like functional condition, you want to take it home. It's a piece that might take a while to sell for the top dollar, but it will sell for that price. I forgot where
guys, you think that I only sell clothes, but this is going to surprise.
Bring it
out.
out.
Have a tin toy?
It's going to surprise the Portland Pickers. I promise you. You're going to be proud of me.
Kids were more easily amused then. That's true. That's so true.
It's not nearly as cool.
Oh.
What do you guys think, huh?
Yeah.
I like that.
Been on the market for a while. You guys let me know if you want it. No, it's pretty cool. I actually already sold one of these. There was two of them. I got to have a storage unit.
Nice.
Dude, the storage unit hauls.
Yes. Oh, we need to go on. I would love to take you guys. I'll buy the storage units for you and then have you clean it out. And we'll split it 50-50. Okay, how about that?
I'll tell you, I'll be like,
Sounds fun.
I like this one. Feel it in my tummy.
Storage units are amazing. Great way to get a lot of inventory at once. Okay, do you purchase a full estate, or have you ever been to one that you wished you could?
Yes. I mean,
Definitely.
yes, we wish we could. If we had a bigger house or a warehouse, we would totally do full estates. But there is an estate sale company in Portland that does auctions. Boyd's, his name is. And he will, at the end of the sale, auction each room out. So you can basically buy, and they go for like $5 to $25 unless there's like really something nice in there. But you can buy each room, and one of the rooms that you like to buy is the garage, so we have cleaned out garages before, but not whole houses.
Do you get people that reach out to you, like friends, family, extended family, and they're like, "Hey, can you sell this?"
Oh God! Anyone we meet is like, "Oh, I have some stuff for you to sell."
Always. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you become the resource for everyone that knows you. Rarely do people want you to teach them how to resell. They want you to do it, and that's great because it's nice to be an asset and be able to provide that for people.
So, guys, we talked very briefly, and I was like, "Look, I definitely need a haul video on this video." And so I know that you have some items there. Can you show us some of those items? Give us a little rundown on why you picked them up, and it's kind of a little back-end story on them.
Sure. Yeah. We're going to do like some bread and buttery things. Bread and buttery basics. These are things that 99% of the time you will see one of these things at a sale, and it will typically be priced under $5, $1 to $5, which is if that's not a safe entry point, then reselling is not for you. Just to
start off with, Bibles. They're always in houses. They're always cheap, and people want to buy them. They're the #1 selling book. Why wouldn't you buy them?
You may have seen this book before. It's called a Bible.
I know that Bibles have unique numbers on them. Like, how do you guys research those? Like, to know how do you pick a good Bible versus a bad Bible?
So a key detail to look for is if it's leather bound.
Right.
That's going to tell you right off the bat that it's going to be in the realm of $30. If it's a good leather bound Bible, it's going to be around 30 or more.
Big
the larger
font,
the larger it is,
sells the best.
And there's even special editions. It doesn't need to be super old. Even if it's brand spanking new, but leather bound is typically what I gravitate towards because I don't have to do any research. I can just grab it, put it in my pile of books, and take it home. Worry about it later.
And when you take photos, if there's writing, I mean, because you only have 12 photos, you just take as many photos as you can.
Right, and you just put that in and people will buy it. Look, this has writing in it. People will buy it with the writing in it too. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Have you guys found money in it by chance? Any money in any books?
So far, I have not found a single dollar.
You found money in some booty shorts from the bins. Some really tiny shorts. And Jake was like, he just was like checking pockets for some reason. And I was like, what are you doing? And he found how much?
That's how bored I was. I was at the bins digging through clothes, checking pockets. I was like, help me today,
Sometimes,
please.
When we used to go to the bins more often, we would get stuck there for hours just towards the end of our bins. Like, we go every once in a while now, but we used to go like every day, and sometimes we would be there for hours just trying to find something, which we would always find something. But they started weeding out, like, we used to get software all the time there. There would be bins and bins of software. We would get carts of software and sell them for $70 each one. And now they don't do that anymore. So they definitely filter out things.
They've been filtering.
But he found 20 Was it
Like
20 bucks?
Yeah, like 20
And
bucks.
so he just bought the shorts. He was like, hey, these came with the shorts. I'm going to pay weight for the shorts. And I just made 20 bucks.
Segue into the software. Although someone made a great point about an English to Japanese Bible.
Oh, yeah.
So foreign language Bibles,
Desirable.
and translation Bibles, those can they'll be in that $30 to $50 range, unless it's something very common. But again, don't go too deep on a book, and you'll be okay. This is just some drawing software, and this is at a sale. Software is typically going to be priced,
Bucks.
$1 to $5, depending on how knowledgeable they are. Rarely do you see there might be some high-end like CAD software, and that you may see priced above that range. But typically, software is going to be $1 to $5. It's 50% of the time someone's gone through it. But always check out the office and go to the software. Unless you're in Portland, then just leave it alone. So, but yeah, software is generally speaking, there's a barcode, so you can scan it and you can throw it on the ground too. You can do that. Tap off again. There.
All right. Oh, this is a good one. Cycling jerseys. Like this one specifically, Portland. Is it Portland? Is the shoots Portland?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's
beer company, but like just cycling jerseys, we've done well on, and this is just from a regular Goodwill that was half off, so it was like $3, and they can go anywhere from $20 to $60. Like Italian ones, Italian cycling jerseys are the ones that sell the quickest for us.
New and old software, like don't discriminate.
As long as it has the product code. You can sell the software.
Okay, so
believe
it or not, like old floppy disks, just ridiculous what you can sell. And they're usually giving it away because, it's old software. Old Apple sells very well. Yeah. The older, the better, actually.
For Apple.
Because new Apple software is obsolete as soon as they release it.
That?
But anything, 10 years old. Huh?
The Apple banner.
Oh, yeah. Go grab that. It's hanging up back there. So one of the things that I hauled out of my neighbor's mom's estate, this is after the sale was done. So they did the sale for the weekend, and no one popped on this. And my neighbor, he probably would have sold it for a couple bucks. It's just a windsock, right? This is a 1980s, like, trademarked Apple, made in Washington, windsock. I mean, this is exclusive Apple history.
How much you got this thing up for right now?
I have it up for $325, and I have, I think, 5 or 6 watches on it. So it's aiming high, but like with something that's pretty rare, you want to aim high, and some people may even think that's low. But I feel like that's kind of in the realm of what you'll see for vintage Apple products of that era. It's kind of in that 200 to 300 range.
Can you blow on it? See if it moves.
We don't have any wind in this house. It's so hot right now. It's like 85 degrees. Not enough wind. Old AOL floppy disk.
So
have value. Yes, AOL, Microsoft, floppy disk.
Sorry, I'm lightheaded.
Again, a thing we used to find at the bins all the time when we don't anymore. But the big floppy disk.
Crush that like, guys. I mean, I don't. We've had this. We've been live now. We've had 70 interviews, and we've never had anybody blow as hard as he did.
Well, at least I didn't suck yet.
Oh.
Anyway, moving right along. What do we have here? Again,
this is the bread and butter.
Bread and butter. You're gonna see this at 90% of sales. This is a Makita battery charger. Doesn't matter. Makita, DeWalt, Craftsman.
Doesn't matter the condition. They can be super rough.
Now, what you want to stay away from is generically branded ones. Like if it's not branded, then you might take it home as like a tester battery charger, right? One that you keep on the shelf if you're going to be selling, a lot of batteries and whatnot. But these are, for me, typically in the realm of $25. And at the sale, they're going to be $1, $2, $3 max. Don't pay more than that.
Bundle them with the other stuff.
Because no one picks these up for more than that. And like I see them all the time for $1 and $2.
I mean, that's a quick like $20 though. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Oh yeah, and what's nice is typically people if they have one, they have two, and they have batteries, and they have the drill. So then you can lot it together and be like, hey, would you do $5 for this? And they're like, well, we'll do 8. And you're like, I don't want to pay 8.
Ooh.
What?
Speaking of cycling, does anyone know how to tell if padded cycling shorts are men or women? There's probably a way to tell because men and women's bikes are set up differently.
So here's the thing. There's probably someone who does know. But in that situation, I would just, measure the waist, measure the length. It's one of those things that there might be brands that make them gender specific, but generally I see a lot of cycling stuff that is unisex.
Right. And if it was gender specific, it probably would say.
Yeah.
So
I could be completely wrong.
What are you looking for now?
Just another thing.
Here, I'll show the
Here, just right quick. So I have been told to stay away from HO train stuff, but against everyone's better judgment, I decided to give it a try. So one of the things that I found very successful, not even just for like hobby stuff, is power transformers, power adapters. Now it does matter, that it's working. So if you have a multi-tester or a means of testing, that guarantees your sale, right? But if you don't, then you're kind of, shooting in the dark. These, low end, you can expect $20 out of like even the lowest in transformer. So on the higher end, they're $60, $75, but typically you'll see them at the sale again for that $1 to $5 range.
So the transformers. That's what.
Now we have a question. Okay, so you do a lot of hard goods. Do you pre-package, or do you just kind of like, put it in bins and then when somebody buys it, you'll package it?
We don't have like a system. We just have racks. So our upstairs was like an attic that has been like converted into living space, but it's really low ceiling, so you can't really live up there. So we just have all inventory up there.
Perfect for inventory.
Jake just has like this mental map of where everything is and where it belongs. And we do not pre-package or box anything.
Yeah.
We just put it up there and wait for it to sell, basically.
And so then when it comes to, because I feel like some people might pre-pack because they want to know exactly what the weight of the item is shipped, right? So what you're going to want to do is for your smaller things, you're going to add 10 ounces. And for your smaller being like under 10 inches by a couple inches, that's actually not a good method for just discerning that. Okay, just let's wipe this slate clean. Weigh the item.
Weigh it.
And
kind of
if it can fit
measure
in a small box or a padded envelope, then you're going to account for 5 to 10 ounces. If it is over a pound, then you're going to want to account for, more wrapping and such at larger dimensions. But typically, you never need to add more than a pound of shipping material. But if your item's like 5 plus ounces, then you want to go to 7 pounds. So round up a pound and then add a pound for packing material.
That's a good strategy.
You typically save that way.
And
Now,
Jake can just hold something in his hand and know like the weight. And
Yeah, now I'm like,
he know just like how long he's been doing
8.5
it.
ounces.
He just knows.
It's right there.
Are you guys doing free returns by chance, or like how does that work with all these hard goods? Like that's a good. What's the changes that you're making? Because I know that they're kind of pushing free returns and that sort of thing.
So initially I was like, I'm not going to do that. Like there's no way.
Well, to have free shipping and free returns feels very scary.
It does. So I've had free shipping on, I'd say probably a fourth or less of my inventory. And I've kind of directed that at items that I feel like are made more desirable as a result of free shipping. Or that in anything new that I list, I do free shipping and I just add what the shipping cost would be into the price of the item. That way it's essentially the same, but psychologically the buyer's looking at it and they're saying,
oh, free shipping.
I can pay $20, but $7 shipping. Oh, I could pay $27 in free shipping. You know, we all know that free attached to something, it catches our eye. It feels like we're getting a value add, even if at the end you're paying the same thing. And then as far as free returns, after going to the eBay Open, I was like, all right, I'm going to give it a shot. And the reason is, if I send someone a product, right, and they're not happy with it, it's going to come back to me anyway. And half the time, it's not worth me paying for them to ship it back if there's a defect on my end as a result. So I'm just going to give them their money back anyway. So
what's the difference?
You know, the difference is more people are going to be drawn in by this kind of reputation boost or this security that is provided by Amazon. You know, that's one thing that they're well known for, is like you could like gnaw on a remote
and return it
and like poop on it, and you could send it back and be like, yeah, it didn't work. I don't know what happened with it. And then they'll send you a free one. So obviously we're not going that far with it, but yeah, what about you, Wade? I'm curious. I want to hear your perspective on free returns.
Yeah. So I'm actually right there with you. I think that, okay, so there's one thing you can count on in life, and especially this, because I think that we're at the very beginning stages of, I know a lot of people say that online with Amazon, eBay, and all the others, it's big now, but I think we're at the beginning stages. You're seeing a lot of big box stores go out of business. More people are familiar with buying online and waiting for it to show up at the house. And so right now, that being said, it's in the beginning stages, and anything in the beginning stages, whether it's a new company or anything in life, is going to have a lot of changes. And quite honestly, like eBay, this is the direction they want to go. Now, if you don't want free returns, you don't want to deal with it, then like that's why I recommend diversifying and being on multiple platforms like Poshmark and Mercari, where returns are very, very minimal. But I am with you on that. I think the way that I'm doing it is baking in the cost of the shipping with the item. It's the same thing. And then doing free returns, because I think that, yeah, I'm at like 3% right now. And I took a couple big returns recently. But that being said, just list a few more items, or maybe each item that you list, charge 25 cents extra to make up for the return difference or the hassle that you're going to have when you do get returns. And fourth quarter, you'll probably see a little bump in returns, especially after Christmas. But that being said, guys, I mean, the boost that you're probably going to get doing free returns is going to be more value to you. So that's kind of my take on it.
That is exactly right. And you're going to see more traffic. You're going to get more sales as a result of implementing these value adds that may seem frightening, but the thing is, the marketplace is demanding these value adds, and if you don't, then someone else will. Now, if you have like the super niche and something very rare or obscure, and you're the only one selling it, it may not really matter that you have those value adds, right? If you have, like an antique automotive part, you don't need to put free returns on it. You don't need to do free shipping, because when the person sees it, they're going to pay what you're asking, or they're going to send you an offer. And either way, they're probably not going to want to return it. They're going to want to keep that. There are, like, we all know that there's categories where you're going to see higher fraud and higher returns. And it's typically going to be with, very broad used electronics and certain clothing items. That's where you're going to see your frauds and heavier returns. But with more niche, more collectible, more like specific use items, the person buying it, unless there's something wrong with it, they're going to keep it most likely.
Now, what real quick, we were at eBay Open, guys, and I'm curious, like, because I'm interviewing you guys, like, what is a couple things that you got out of eBay Open 2018 that's going to help you in your reselling game? Like, what out of everything you can think of, was it the networking? Like, what was your favorite part of eBay Open?
Totally the networking. I mean, it was cool to like find out the new technology that's going to come out and like think about how you're going to be able to use it. So you can already like plan on like designing your listings a certain way. Like, we found out that white backgrounds are going to be what needs, the standard eventually. I mean, with Google especially, but yeah, so like the technology aspect was cool to see, and what they're trying to go for, so then you can kind of like gear your listings to be that. But most of the workshops we already had implemented those things or knew about them, so we didn't really learn that much from those things. But networking for sure was amazing.
Yeah.
Would you recommend eBay Open 2019 to anybody?
Totally.
To everyone. I mean, it really, I think what was nice about the workshops being very basic is that, of course, we may have not extracted much from it, but people who were new got something out of that. And people who didn't, like, discovered very quickly that the workshops were not going to be of great value. We just hung around outside and, talked with the people that we've seen on Instagram for years, and just got to know people, off the internet, which is great, and connect at that very base level of, wow, we do the same thing.
And it does feel like
but
we
differently,
got some insider like information, like we got some information before it was released, or that a lot of people don't know, and then now we can share that with other people, which feels really good. And also, like, there's free food, free booze every day.
Can't deny
like
it.
in Vegas, we went to a club, just to let you know, we went to a club and got a drink, and it was $25 each. So like that made it worth it. Like, having free open bar and food every day, like you get your money's worth for sure.
Guys, you're dancing, drinks,
Right.
limo.
Playing bowling, yeah, limo.
Dude, thanks for having us in that limo. That was
That was
amazing.
awesome.
I didn't get to thank you for that. That was like supreme cherry on top.
Do you guys want to see the picture of the Portland Pickers in the limo? Let me even see if I have it. I don't even have it, actually. Let me see. Oh my gosh,
But
guys.
yeah, it was an amazing opportunity for people who are new, people who I think advanced eBayers, it wasn't that great for the information side. But for the networking and meeting with people and creating this community that we're all part of is amazing. And it should totally be, I think eBay Open should totally focus on that more, and focus on sellers talking about using these new technologies instead of like the tech people or just an eBay employee, because they're not seeing it from our point of view as sellers. I mean, they sell things, but we've been to the eBay not headquarters, but the Portland eBay, and we see that they have a rack of things that they have to list. So they like know how to like list things, but it's just like come and go. It's not like avid sellers.
Yes.
And so like they really need, I think a lot of the workshops should be led by sellers like implementing these new technologies.
So I have 3 more questions for you guys. That
Okay.
will be respectful of your time, because I'm coming over for dinner since we're in the same city. But
Yes.
so, but of course she's going to be cooking. It seems like all right.
We'll be eating some items around the house if it's left to me.
And then we'll return them to Amazon.
Exactly.
All right, guys. So how has reselling changed your life?
I mean, so the interesting thing about that is you have to ask yourself, what would your life be without it? And to think in terms of that, I really don't know. You know, it's hard to imagine that I wouldn't be doing some other business for myself, because I was always kind of driven to find some avenue in which I'm investing in myself and then using whatever skills they are to provide benefit for other people, value, whatever that would be. But doing this has not stopped me from being able to explore that still. So it's changed my life in the sense that I now financially feel a weight off my shoulder, and that I can stop reselling and then chase whatever that is and come back to reselling. It is whatever you want to make it, and that's what makes it so great. Is it really does encompass freedom, a lifestyle in which you get to make your schedule, work as hard as you want, as little as you want, and it doesn't stop you from doing other things.
That's true. I agree with that. I am currently writing a book, so it gives me the freedom to do that. But also, it has opened my eyes to like consumerism and like recycling and taking something that has already lived its life and like bringing that into a marketplace where somebody else can enjoy it and not go to a landfill or something like that. So that has been so amazing, and like just thinking about all the products that are made every day and like what you can do to contribute to recycling and reusing and like bringing history along the way instead of just throwing it away. And that has been super amazing. And obviously you start to be thrifty once you learn those things, and then you save money being thrifty. So
can I honestly, I said this in Vegas, but man, where did you find this one at? She is amazing. She is amazing. First of all, the fact that she can wear those glasses and rock it, I mean, it's just writing a book, cooking.
That's a lot. Right.
I'll tell you what, you guys that are single out there, you will find somebody as amazing as these two.
Make a list of the things that you want in a partner. I promise you, like, have the intention to find them, and you will. If you're saying, oh, I don't want to meet this person, this person, this person, you're going to meet all those people because you have this negative aspect on it. Like, have the intention of, like, the kind of partner you want to meet, and it might take some work, but work on yourself, and then you'll find them.
And by the way, she said might take some work. And I was like, oh, okay.
No. He did all the work way before he met me, for sure.
All right. So the second question is I ask this every single time because a lot of people new in chat, they may not know some of these resellers. Give me some resellers that you guys enjoy following. It can be on Instagram. It could be on Facebook. It could be on YouTube. Give us some people that you enjoy following so other people can look them up and follow.
Number one, you. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. By the
way, guys, that was not rehearsed.
No, we just love people who are nice and like have uplifting Spirits and like Side Hustle Pros has always been amazing. They like
Very
are the
cool.
nicest people. Hazel Heart Vintage, Kayla, we love her. I have done some work with Nicole State. I can't say like she has things that go on outside of her control, but she's amazing. She's always been kind.
Truly.
She's an amazing boss. I worked for her, and like I love following her journey, the ups and downs, and we can all learn from her for sure.
I got to give a shout out to Art of Progression. That's my buddy. I mean, he showed me things. I've, nursed him in my own womb, and so it's been a great journey to see where he's at. And he has a lot of fitness involved stuff. So he's very diverse in the things that he likes to talk about and show. And he's younger to it. So if you're newer to it, then you can kind of see
the journey,
the process. Like, I didn't get on to sharing until I already felt like I'm set in this. Like, I have a pretty good idea what I'm doing, and like, I'm just going to keep doing this and exploring more.
And there's also in our city, Rip City Resell,
who
are an amazing couple.
They're awesome.
We've met them numerous times, and they've just been super nice. And they don't do a lot of social media, but I think shouting them out, and you guys should all go follow them.
So the Art of Progression.
Yeah, that's Jake.
Yes, we had the pleasure of playing some bowling too, and I was saying that the Portland Pickers was amazing at bowling, but it's the complete opposite. No, I'm joking. It was phenomenal. I'm gonna blame that on the free drinks, as she would say.
Right.
But does he have a YouTube channel?
I think it is. I think it is that. I think it is Art of Progression. Yeah.
That's his Instagram for sure.
That's his Instagram.
Yes. Go. He was doing a lot of. By the way,
he does handstands. He likes handstands. If you guys want to follow some handstands, he does really good handstands.
Does he like list and handstand?
Ooh, you should try that.
Get on it, Jake.
He was doing some By the way, Jake, I appreciate the videos that you did earlier on your Instagram. Shouted me out, guys. I appreciate all the shout outs on Instagram. I love everything, guys. All right, so this is going to be the last question, and this is going to be, you're going to have to dig deep for this one, okay?
I only did it once, and I'll never do it again.
Dig deep for this one, and this one is going to be. Now, this could be any way you want to go. So, any tips, tricks, or hacks for somebody that is reselling that works for your business?
At any level specifically, like
it could
started.
It could be any level, or you can pinpoint just getting started. Like, any tips, tricks, or hacks, or anything that you do in your daily life that kind of helps you resell, that you found that helps you. Like, it could be
practice kindness. That's like a number one thing. Practice kindness for all aspects. When you're buying, when you're selling, when you're doing your communication with an angry buyer, like, if you just practice kindness, it goes a long way.
Patience. Like, one of the things that I thought I had figured out getting into this, and I feel like I lost somewhere in the middle, and then I have kind of refocused back on that, is patience. Just with myself, with the process, and allowing myself to enjoy what I'm doing, because I enjoy going out and hunting stuff, learning about it,
researching.
It's pretty well known that no one really likes listing stuff, right? But if you just have patience with yourself and the process, then there's no reason to rush through it. Like, we have a whole life to live. And if you're always trying to rush yourself to get this task done,
you're not going to do your best.
The next thing you know, you're at the end of your life, and you've just been about getting tasks done instead of
enjoying
being here, doing it, not trying to hastily get through it.
Oh, guys, I want to share something real quick that somebody told me while I was at eBay Open, and God, he was really cool. So he said, and I had to think about this for a second. He said the days go by slow and years go by.
Okay.
Wait. What was it? Well, give me 1 second. Okay, so he said the days go by. Days go by slow or the years? No. So the days go by slow.
Yeah.
The years go by fast. Yes.
Yeah.
Of course,
Right.
we had her that reads books, right? I mean, anyways, that kind of resonated with me. I thought that was interesting. Like, so that being said, guys, first and foremost, make sure you subscribe to their YouTube channel because, and real quick, what are you guys planning on? Because I know you did the video 3 weeks ago. Are you guys planning on doing some videos on YouTube?
We are planning on it.
I'm always planning on doing videos. It's the execution where I fall short.
The editing.
And you know, that's the thing is like I get lost in the process of listing things. I don't know how you got like I think you guys are superheroes that you can actually block out time effectively and do these things. Like I think it has just been a part of my schedule that I'm so free flow with how I do things that I wait till the last minute and then I'm like, I can't do a video now. I'm in the middle of doing this. Or I'm in the middle of packaging. So I think I'm going to have to create a schedule.
Oh no, that's what you're trying to get away from.
And block out some time.
Is it patience? Or no, the patience I guess wouldn't work out with that. I'm trying to think how I'd work out patience with that. Melissa, thank you. By the way, I got your email. Guys, Melissa's amazing. She's got amazing daughters. We had a great time. I just want to say I appreciate you. It was really cool in the limo as well. And I appreciate your kind email too. I need to get responded to that. That's one thing I'm working on, guys, is responding to so many emails and stuff. Sometimes I get behind and I go to sleep and wake up and the next day.
You are babies.
You got kids, man.
Oh, yes. And I wake up at about sometimes 4 to 5 every morning to trade stocks in the morning. So if you can see bags, it's because
also, there is
right.
a Portland, if you guys are in Portland, I saw some people talking about it in the chat earlier. There's a Portland meetup with Side Hustle Pros Saturday. At
3 p.m.
at Oaks Park.
Wade?
In the picnic area.
I want to see you there.
If you'll only hold my hand and go on a few rides with me.
I will hold both hands. Hans got it.
Yes.
I want to thank everyone in the chat.
Yeah.
I've heavily neglected you, but I have glimpsed the love, and it is incredible. I'm super flattered. Like, it's ridiculous.
It's amazing that we get to share all of this with everyone, because it would be a lonely life if we were just all listing by ourselves all the time. I mean,
these people are amazing. Stitch Witch was in here and she sent kids clothes in this incredible box, for Axel, and Just Pac-Man, my admin in there that's blue. He likes 2 hats and 2 t-shirts. Like, you get to know people on social media. It's incredible. Like, had I not been on social media, we would not have been hanging out. I would not have been losing at bowling. I would not have seen you dancing by yourself.
That sounds so sad.
Yes, it would be. That's why social media has done so much for me. That's why I'm trying to I wouldn't say give back because I'm not giving back anything, but help people grow theirs because I know what impact it had on me. So I don't know. And when I had you guys on, when I did those announcements, I got multiple messages on Instagram saying that there's a lot of people that that they love the Portland Pickers. We love the Portland Pickers.
We love everyone too.
We love you.
Yes, Melissa, we had fun dancing. I danced with her and her daughter. It was fun.
Nice. Her daughter was amazing. She got 90,000 followers or something. Incredible.
Yeah.
Weird. Oh yeah.
Yeah, she does.
That was what was so great about eBay Open. We live within reasonable driving distance, but people who live on the East Coast, it's unusual that they would come to the West Coast to pick, but the eBay Open became that the truth and the roots. What did I even? I don't even know what I just said.
The
The
life
tree
force.
and the roots
Yes.
and
Yes.
the
We
water.
have roots now.
And I'm
And we
describing
can all grow
photosynthesis for
together.
some reason.
We're all growing together,
Not sure.
upward.
We have dinosaur glasses for everybody.
Yes. Actually, I should
You get a pair.
trademark these.
You get a pair. You get a pair.
All right, guys.
All right.
I always leave off with the words of wisdom. I know you kind of did that already, but give me words of wisdom. Every one of my shows, I have you guys leave off with the words of wisdom. You said that be kind, patience, but give us some words of wisdom before we let off here.
Put yourself out there. A comfort zone is a dangerous place to live.
Oh yeah.
If you never step out of your comfort zone, without the risk, there's no reward. I feel like that's incredibly cliche, but it's just so damn true. So,
And dream big, because your dreams are actually not as big as you think they are. They're totally obtainable, and make a goal and then list all the ways that you can get to that goal.
that is we read that recently somewhere. So dreams are actually like,
No, we just
you're
thought of this.
did we think
Yeah, we
Anyway.
wrote it down.
the things that you dream of that you want to accomplish are actually realistic, and the things that you fear are not realistic. Your dreams are practical, your fears
Or
are not.
impractical. Your fears are usually out of
Go from
something that is not happening, but you're just creating this fear and perpetuating these fears to happening, which are actually impractical, but your dreams are actually more practical than your fears.
Guys, I think I found the fountain of youth. You know why they look so young and they're our age? It's because they have so much wisdom. So much wisdom.
We've lived long lives
Yeah.
in the short amount of time that we've lived.
Fail as much as you can.
Yeah, that too. Failure is your best friend.
Just do it.
Don't be afraid of it.
I love that Michael Jordan. He's like, I can't tell you verbatim. Obviously, you guys have, been talking to me for an hour now, and I'm horrible at remembering that stuff. But it was like, I took like 8 game-winning shots in my career, like 65,000. Anyways, and he's like, I failed, and failed and time again. That's why I succeeded.
Right.
It was incredible. That's a really good quote. I'm gonna put it on.
People see the people succeeding. They don't see the failures as much.
It's true. And with Instagram, we do get to hide those failures.
Right.
So maybe.
But everyone
we should
failed.
do some
And
fail
Michael
videos.
Jordan was a baseball player at one time.
And he was horrible, guys. All right. So that being said, guys, if you're watching this after the fact, subscribe to their YouTube channel. It'll be in the description. You can get it in the description. You can get it in the live chat, or also subscribe or follow them on Instagram. You guys, we all have our top 10 accounts that we look at before we go to bed. So when you're in bed, you've got your top 10 favorite Insta stories that you look at, Insta accounts. I would say the Portland Pickers are probably one of my top that I have to look at and creep on before the next day. So that being said, guys, follow them on Instagram, follow them on YouTube. I'll hound them to get some more videos up. I think it's going to be incredible. They know way more than I do. And so thank you so much for coming tonight. We have a show tomorrow.
Woo!
Guys, I couldn't tell you how humble I am to have you guys as amazing people following my journey personally here on the channel. Like the video, please subscribe, and I will see you guys Wednesday, okay?
We love
All the
you.
love. Hope to see you.